Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a shortcut, really, to getting smart about something fascinating, long-lasting relationships.
Yeah, how they work, or sometimes how they don't.
Exactly. We've got your sources here, articles, research, notes, and we're pulling out the key stuff.
The mission today is basically to unpack what makes relationships thrive. You know, the psychology, the sociology.
And just as important, what makes them fall apart. We want you to get some surprising facts, maybe a clearer map for understanding connections.
Okay, let's get into it.
So when we think about what really builds these enduring relationships, it's got to be more than just that initial, attraction, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's fascinating, actually, how things shift. You go from that initial passion to something called companionate love.
Companionate.
Yeah, it's this really deep connection based on friendship, mutual respect, real concern for the other person. Passion's great. Don't get me wrong. It helps cement the bond. But it's that consistent effort, building a real friendship underneath it all.
Yeah.
That gives you the long-term stability.
So thinking about day-to-day life then, what does this mean for how partners actually interact?
Well, it means communication is just everything. It's a lifeline.
Yeah.
And not just any communication.
Right.
It needs to be open. Where you feel safe, like you won't get shot down for saying something, that fosters emotional safety.
Oh, okay. So how do you do that practically?
Well, there are techniques like active listening. You might know LARA. Listen, affirm, respond, add. Remind us.
Sure, you listen fully, don't interrupt, affirm what they're saying, like, okay, I hear you're feeling frustrated, then respond thoughtfully, and finally add your own perspective.
Gotcha. So it's not just waiting for your turn to talk.
Exactly. And empathy, trying to really genuinely see it from their side.
Okay. And conflict. It happens.
It's inevitable. But how you handle it, that's key. Constructive resolution can actually make the bond stronger. There's a framework, nonviolent communication, NVC.
NVC, right. Yeah, it helps you say what you need without blaming. Like, when I observe this specific thing, I feel this way because I need this. Would you be willing to do this request? See, it shifts things.
Away from just pointing fingers.
Right. And on the flip side, you've got to watch out for what Gottman calls the four horsemen.
Ah, yes, the famous ones. Criticism.
Criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. They're really destructive. And interestingly, avoiding conflict altogether can be just as bad. You miss chances to grow.
That's a great point. And where does trust fit into all this? How vital is that?
Oh, trust and vulnerability. They're locked in this reinforcing loop. It's powerful.
How does that work?
Well, you risk a little vulnerability, right? Sharing something personal. That builds a tiny bit of trust.
Okay.
And that trust makes the space safer. So you feel okay being a bit more vulnerable next time.
And it just keeps building.
Exactly. You really need that cycle for deep, sustained intimacy so people feel truly seen.
I also thought it was interesting how much shared values came up, like a hidden strength.
Totally. Shared values and goals are kind of like a preemptive strike against conflict.
Yeah. How so?
Well, if you both agree on the big things, what's important in life, where you're headed, you have this shared moral compass. It gives you common ground for tackling challenges. Less stuff to fight about in the first place if you're already aligned on the fundamentals.
So it sounds like it really boils down to connecting your head and your heart, in a way.
Precisely. That's where emotional intelligence comes in. Think of it as the operating system for the relationship.
OS. Okay.
Yeah. Self-awareness, managing your own emotions, having empathy. These skills make everything else work. Communication, resolving conflict. They become truly effective. If you don't have that emotional literacy, just knowing the techniques, well, it might not help much when things get tough.
Right. Okay, so we've talked foundations, but now, the flip side. What actually tears relationships apart? This is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Yeah, it is. And those four horsemen we mentioned, they aren't just isolated bad moments.
Yeah.
No, they trigger these destructive cycles. They feed off each other.
Huh.
Constant criticism makes someone defensive. Right?
Yeah.
Then that defensiveness might invite contempt. And pretty soon, someone just checks out. Stonewalling. The emotional distance just grows and grows.
And betrayal.
Yeah.
That feels like a big one. Is it always about, infidelity?
Betrayal definitely shatters that safety. But it's broader than just physical affairs. Emotional affairs, even like excessive devotion to work or a hobby that ignores the partner, that counts.
Interesting.
And crucially, infidelity itself, it's often a symptom, not the root cause. It can signal deeper issues, like unmet needs that haven't been addressed.
So it's a sign something else was already wrong.
Often, yeah.
Okay.
And what happens when problems just sit there? fester.
Let me guess. Nothing good.
Exactly. Unresolved conflicts and resentment. They're like a slow poison.
Yeah.
All those little hurts, those micro hurts, they build up.
Really hurt.
Yeah, tiny disappointments, slights. They create this like distorting lens. Suddenly, everything your partner does seems negative. Leads to what some call demon dialogues.
Like pursue, withdraw.
That's a classic one. One person pushes to talk, the other pulls away, shuts down. It's this awful dance where nobody wins and both feel totally unheard.
Is there anything that's more of a silent killer? Something less obvious?
Definitely. Neglect. Just the absence of attention.
How so?
Emotionally, physically, psychologically.
Mm-hmm.
When you stop paying attention, stop investing, your partner starts to feel invisible, detached. You're essentially starving the relationship, like forgetting to water a plant.
Wow. So even if the love is technically still there, if you just drift apart.
Yeah, diverging life paths can be a real threat. People change, right? We grow. That's natural. But the relationship needs adapting. It needs both people committed to, growing together, not just growing apart on separate tracks. You have to keep choosing each other as you both evolve.
Makes sense. What about pressures from the outside world?
Oh, yeah. External stressors, big time. Money worries, job stress, family issues.
How do they impact the couple?
It creates what's called relational contagion. One person's stress kind of spills over, infects the partnership. Even if the stress isn't about the relationship, it leads to less patience, maybe less communication, less intimacy.
Like bringing work stress home.
Exactly. And finally, one more subtle one, power imbalances.
How does that play out?
Well, if one person consistently has more control, makes all the decisions, it slowly chips away at the other person's autonomy, their sense of self-worth. It stops feeling like a partnership and more like a hierarchy.
That sounds incredibly damaging.
It really is. It erodes the foundation of equality and respect.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. Building up, tearing down. What's the big takeaway for you listening? How do you use this?
I think the key is that relationship resilience. It isn't about somehow avoiding problems. That's impossible. It's about facing them, acknowledging them, addressing them, navigating them together. It means being proactive. Continuously investing, nurturing the positive, looking after your own well-being, too.
So like relationship maintenance?
Yeah, preventative care. And then, when things do get rough, because they will, having the skills for constructive conflict resolution. Being able to rebuild trust when it's broken, which takes real accountability. And being willing to seek help, like couples therapy. That's not weakness, that's strength. It's smart.
So this whole deep dive really shows that lasting love isn't some fixed state you arrive at. It's dynamic. It's constant effort, isn't it?
It really is. Conscious effort, continuous growth. You have to be willing to understand both the good stuff and the potential pitfalls.
Okay, final thought to leave people with.
Well, consider this. If you start seeing every challenge not as a disaster, but as maybe an opportunity for growth, what new layers of understanding about yourself and your partner could you actually discover in your closest relationships?